Welcome to this countdown, where we explore 10 remarkable Charlize Theron performances that spotlight her versatile talent. From emotional dramas to high-octane action, Theron has consistently pushed boundaries. In this brief overview, we'll focus on pivotal events that define each film and demonstrate how Theron's devotion to authenticity elevates every role. Consider this your guide to a range of portrayals spanning motherhood, corporate intrigue, social justice, and post-apocalyptic chaos. Whether you're a longtime fan or a first-time viewer, we hope you'll discover fresh insights into Theron's most memorable screen moments. Get ready for 10 film highlights that underscore her brilliance. 1. TULLY, 2018. In this intimate drama, Charlize Theron plays Marlowe, a beleaguered mother of two, pregnant with her third child. Overwhelmed by constant diaper changes, sleepless nights, and domestic pressures, she longs for a reprieve. The story's inciting event occurs when her affluent brother offers to hire a night nanny named Tully. Initially reluctant, Marlowe ultimately agrees, fearing she might collapse under her mounting responsibilities. Tully arrives like a burst of fresh air, tidying up at night and tending to the newborn so Marlowe can finally rest. Despite her initial discomfort, Marlowe warms to Tully's optimism and resourcefulness. Small yet significant moments mark the film's central events. Late-night chats that reveal Marlowe's youthful aspirations, a bonding session where Tully gently challenges Marlowe to rediscover her sense of self, and instances of shared vulnerability hinting that Tully may be more than just an employee. As the nights roll by, Marlowe experiences moments of rejuvenation, regaining a spark of identity she'd buried under parental duties. However, tension emerges when an unforeseen twist exposes the true nature of Tully. This revelation becomes the climax, reframing earlier scenes in poignant ways. Marlowe's struggles with postpartum exhaustion and her yearning for a version of herself beyond child-rearing form the emotional core. Theron's performance grounds these developments, blending humor and raw vulnerability. She conveys Marlowe's conflicted mindset, torn between maternal love and desperation for relief. The film's essential takeaway is that self-care and support networks are critical for caregivers. By the end, Marlowe confronts the realization that motherhood doesn't have to mean erasing who she was before. Tully deftly shows how a little help can rekindle hope, illustrating Theron's gift for embodying complex characters. This understated story resonates with anyone who has felt overwhelmed by life's demands. In this way, Tully captures both the gentle triumphs and aching sacrifices hidden within everyday domestic realities, showcasing Theron's ability to portray inner turmoil with grace. It's a vivid reminder that even simple gestures of support can spark profound transformation. 2. Prometheus, 2012. Ridley Scott's Prometheus, 2012, revisits the alien universe, blending science fiction and existential horror. Charlize Theron appears as Meredith Vickers, a steely corporate overseer on a mission to find humanity's creators. Funded by the Wayland Corporation, the crew arrives at a distant moon, believing they will uncover answers to mankind's origins. Instead, they awaken potential threats that could doom Earth. Early scenes depict scientists unearthing cave paintings, linking ancient civilizations to these so-called engineers. Optimistic crew members, like Dr. Shaw, see grand possibility. Yet Vickers remains skeptical, monitoring everyone's actions with an iron glare. Her priority is protecting Wayland's interests, not indulging wild theories. Tension emerges as she clashes with the android David, who exhibits unsettling curiosity about alien life. Key events revolve around the discovery of a massive structure filled with canisters of mysterious black liquid. Crew members become infected, mutating into monstrous forms. Vickers insists on quarantine, showing little compassion for those exposed. As bodies pile up, the mission slides into chaos. When the surviving team learns the engineers once planned humanity's eradication, Vickers views it as confirmation that meddling with unknown forces is suicidal. In a climactic sequence, the engineer awakens, attacking anyone in reach. Vickers tries to escape, prioritizing survival above all. Her final moments highlight her ruthless pragmatism. Theron's portrayal gives Vickers an edge that contrasts the idealism of others. Ultimately, Prometheus raises unsettling questions about creation and destruction. Vickers stands as a cautionary figure, reminding viewers that corporate ambition can collide violently with cosmic mysteries. Theron's controlled performance underscores the perils of pushing too far into forbidden knowledge. The result is an ominous exploration of humanity's place in a vast, unforgiving cosmos, with Vickers' composed demeanor shattering under the weight of an ancient threat. Prometheus offers cosmic spectacle alongside a sobering meditation on what happens when we chase our makers without respect for the unknown. Theron's presence ensures that duty, power, and survival remain paramount concerns. In the end, the pursuit of knowledge proves perilous. The Italian Job, 2003. The Italian Job, 2003, reimagines the classic heist film with modern flair, uniting an ensemble cast led by Mark Wahlberg, Edward Norton, Jason Statham, and Charlize Theron. Theron portrays Stella Bridger, a meticulous safecracker and daughter of a master thief. After a gold heist in Venice, the team's ex-partner betrays them, stealing their loot and leaving them for dead. Stella joins forces with Charlie Croker, Wahlberg, to exact revenge and reclaim what's theirs. Major events include assembling an expert crew to track the traitor in Los Angeles, exploiting traffic systems and city infrastructure for a daring plan. Stella's father was killed by this same betrayer, lending personal weight to her involvement. She grapples with her reluctance to embrace criminal methods, struggling between avenging her father and maintaining moral boundaries. The use of Mini Coopers as getaway vehicles provides the film's signature set pieces, navigating tight alleyways and narrow tunnels in thrilling chase sequences. Throughout these heists, Stella's expertise in safecracking proves essential. She infiltrates secure locations with calm precision, contrasting the brash bravado of her teammates. One poignant moment shows Stella confronting her father's killer face to face, embodying her drive for closure. Theron balances vulnerability and resolve, underlining that this job isn't about profit, it's about healing a personal wound. The film's climax features synchronized car maneuvers designed to outsmart the villain's armed guards, culminating in a gravity-defying escape. Stella emerges victorious on multiple fronts, reclaiming her inheritance and restoring her father's honor. Theron's performance underscores the emotional stakes behind each elaborate stunt, keeping the narrative grounded in personal motives. The Italian Job melds clever planning, sleek action, and satisfying payback, with Stella's journey reflecting Theron's ability to mix high-energy spectacle and human depth. By blending comedic camaraderie with intense showdowns, the film keeps audiences riveted. In the end, Stella stands as both a moral anchor and a formidable thief, proving that skill and conscience can coexist even in a world of deception. Theron's presence ensures this heist remains personal. 4. Men of Honor, 2000, dramatizes Carl Brashear's, Cuba Gooding Jr., relentless quest to become the first African-American U.S. Navy master diver, despite entrenched racism. Charlize Theron plays Gwen Sunday, wife of Master Chief Billy Sunday, Robert De Niro, who oversees Brashear's training. Though Gwen's role is secondary, it deepens the emotional landscape, illustrating how personal relationships bear the weight of professional ambition. Brass here enlists determined to shatter barriers, yet the path is fraught with hostility, from humiliating tasks to discrimination. Billy Sunday, a once legendary diver, initially attempts to sabotage Brass here, refusing to accept him as an equal. Their confrontations form the film's main conflict, culminating in grueling underwater exercises designed to break Brass here's resolve. Gwen observes her husband's mounting obsession, hinting that his concealment of regrets drives his actions. As Brass here endures punishing dives, Billy grapples with his own decline. Gwen becomes a subtle counterpoint. She senses Brass here's unwavering dedication and questions her husband's antagonism. A pivotal scene shows Gwen admonishing Billy for letting prejudice erode his integrity. Theron imbues Gwen with empathy, urging her husband to recognize that Brass here's success might renew the Navy's sense of honor. Eventually, Brass here's perseverance forces Billy Sunday to reevaluate his stance. An accident jeopardizes Brass here's career, pushing him to fight not only racism but also physical limitations. Gwen watches from the sidelines, her presence underscoring the emotional strain on both men. When Billy finally supports Brass here during a climactic hearing, it marks a turning point for all involved. Men of Honor celebrates unyielding grit in the face of discrimination, and Theron's role provides glimpses of how ambition reverberates within intimate spaces. Gwen's faith in a fairer outcome foreshadows Billy's eventual redemption, emphasizing that overcoming bias requires personal courage and conscience. Though small, her part is vital in revealing the costs behind Brass here's heroic journey. Theron's presence underscores how a supporting character can sharpen the film's central message. Honor arises from transcending prejudice, forging respect. Gwen reminds us empathy can transform hearts. 5. The Road, 2009. The Road, 2009, adapts Cormac McCarthy's stark post-apocalyptic novel, showcasing a grim world nearly devoid of life. Viggo Mortensen plays a father escorting his young son, Cody Smith-McPhee, across ashen landscapes. Charlize Theron appears in flashbacks as the mother who loses hope and departs rather than endure despair. Though brief, her role shapes the father's determination to protect their child at any cost. The central events unfold on a road littered with wreckage and scavengers. Resources are scarce. Many survivors have turned to cannibalism. Each day tests the father's moral compass, forcing decisions about whether to trust strangers. He clings to the mantra of carrying the fire, symbolic of preserving decency in a dying civilization. Flashbacks reveal how Theron's character, drained of hope, believes survival is futile. Her departure leaves the father haunted by guilt and grief, forging an even stronger resolve to shield his son. Key moments involve harrowing encounters with desperate wanderers. In one scene, the father discovers a hidden cellar of captives meant as food for cannibals, underscoring the horrific depths humanity can reach. Another pivotal point sees them finding a bunker stocked with provisions, reigniting optimism. Yet the father never stops worrying about who might lurk nearby. Theron's flashbacks give context to the father's devotion. He cannot follow her path of surrender because the son represents an ember of faith. Each step leads them closer to a shoreline rumored to be safer, but the environment remains unforgiving. By the end, tragedy collides with hope, leaving viewers to ponder whether moral goodness can endure in such devastation. Theron's short appearances reinforce the emotional stakes fueling the father's perseverance. The Road offers no grand resolution, but its stark honesty highlights love's fragile power to persist amidst ruin. Theron's presence underscores the heartbreaking reality of a world gone cold. This bleak journey resonates as testament to parental devotion, where every small kindness stands in defiance of overwhelming darkness. Survival becomes an act of faith in hope. 6. North Country, 2005. North Country, 2005, spotlights a pivotal sexual harassment case with Charlize Theron portraying Josie Ames, a determined woman seeking better wages in a Minnesota mine. Escaping an abusive marriage, Josie hopes to support her children, only to encounter hostility from male co-workers who believe women don't belong in such work. Offensive pranks, threats, and vulgar taunts soon escalate into physical assaults, pushing Josie to speak up. The film's critical events revolve around her decision to file a lawsuit, triggering backlash from peers, superiors, and even family members. Many co-workers fear that complaining will jeopardize their jobs. Josie persists, motivated by a desire to safeguard herself and other women from abuse. Theron captures the raw frustration of confronting an establishment unwilling to admit wrongdoing. Her portrayal underscores the toll on Josie's personal relationships, including a strained dynamic with her father, who also works at the mine. Key moments include hostile courtroom cross-examinations where Josie's credibility is attacked. The film spotlights how private details become fodder for lawyers intent on discrediting her. Another turning point arises when other female employees step forward, sharing their own harrowing experiences. This collective stand cements Josie's legal battle as more than an individual grievance. It's a watershed moment for workplace rights. Theron conveys both Josie's vulnerability and her fierce resolve, ensuring that each small victory feels monumental. Despite backlash from the community, she perseveres, fueling a landmark case that changes the industry's handling of harassment claims. North Country exemplifies the courage required to push for justice in hostile conditions. Through Josie's tribulations, Theron highlights the emotional scars inflicted by sexism in professional environments. Eventually, the verdict paves the way for meaningful reforms, underscoring that speaking out can spark systemic shifts. By confronting powerful adversaries, Josie demonstrates the resilience needed to transform workplaces once ruled by intimidation. Theron's performance cements the film's status as a compelling testament to steadfast advocacy. In the end, North Country resonates as a victory for those who dare to break the silence. 7. Monster, 2003. Monster, 2003, features Charlize Theron's extraordinary portrayal of Aileen Wuornos, a woman pushed to extremes by exploitation and violence. Based on a true story, the film opens with Aileen as a destitute sex worker, emotionally scarred from years of abuse. A chance meeting with Selby, Christina Ricci, sparks an intense romance, giving Aileen a fleeting sense of belonging. However, one brutal encounter with a client ends in bloodshed, leading her down a path of serial killings. The film's major events revolve around Aileen's growing paranoia, believing each man intends to harm her. She commits multiple murders, each one blurring the line between perceived self-defense and vengeful violence. As law enforcement closes in, she struggles to hide the truth from Selby, who senses the darkness creeping into their relationship. Theron undergoes a startling physical transformation, capturing Aileen's raw anger and desperate vulnerability. Scenes of her lashing out at strangers or sobbing at her own reflection highlight the turmoil churning inside. A pivotal moment arrives when Aileen realizes she cannot maintain a facade of normalcy. Selby's suspicion grows, culminating in a tense confrontation over mounting evidence. The police finally apprehend Aileen, leading to a trial where she delivers volatile outbursts. Theron's ability to convey Aileen's fractured psyche and flickers of remorse earned her an Academy Award, solidifying Monster as a landmark in her career. Beyond the violence, Monster explores how cyclical abuse and desperation can twist a person's worldview. Though Wuornos's crimes are chilling, the film highlights her yearning for connection, exposing the vulnerability behind her rage. The final scenes show Aileen's descent into hopelessness, ending with her conviction and ultimate fate. Theron's fearless performance compels viewers to confront grim realities of exploitation. By humanizing a figure often dismissed as monstrous, Monster underscores society's failure to protect those teetering on the edge. Theron delivers a tour de force, leaving audiences disturbed yet moved by the depth of Aileen's anguish. Through this role, Theron proved her capacity to inhabit even the darkest corners. 8. The Cider House Rules, 1999. The Cider House Rules, 1999, adapts John Irving's novel, unfolding at a remote Maine orphanage during World War II. Charlize Theron plays Candy Kendall, whose arrival intersects with Homer Wells, Tobey Maguire, an orphan raised under Dr. Wilbur Larch's, Michael Caine, guidance. Larch offers abortions to desperate women, believing it a necessary mercy. Homer, however, grapples with moral uncertainty, unsure whether he should follow in Larch's footsteps. Key events begin when Candy and her boyfriend, Wally, Paul Rudd, arrive seeking Larch's help. Homer, intrigued by their worldliness, decides to leave the orphanage and join them at an apple orchard. Candy symbolizes warmth and curiosity, forging a bond with Homer that deepens after Wally departs for the war. Theron reveals Candy's side while hinting at lingering sadness, torn between loyalty to Wally and her feelings for Homer. Meanwhile, Homer navigates ethical dilemmas, witnessing the orchard's migrant workers living under posted cider house rules they never authorized. He confronts a troubling situation that challenges his moral convictions. Candy stands by him, reflecting the film's examination of empathy over rigid edicts. Their relationship grows amid orchard routines, shaping Homer's perspective on responsibility and compassion. A crucial turn occurs when Homer realizes some decisions demand medical intervention. Dr. Larch's death leaves the orphanage vulnerable. Homer faces whether to accept Larch's role and continue providing care, including abortions, for women in need. Candy, likewise, must confront the between her desires and Wally's uncertain future. Theron conveys Candy's longing, illuminating the fragile space between duty and personal fulfillment. By the end, both Candy and Homer learn that compassion can guide them beyond conventional boundaries. The Cider House Rules champions moral agency shaped by real-world contexts. Theron's performance complements the film's gentle tone, underscoring how empathy can blossom amid dilemmas. Candy's presence shows that love and responsibility needn't be mutually exclusive. Her journey with Homer reveals that heartfelt choices often transcend written rules. The film ends on a hopeful note, affirming the power of compassion. The Devil's Advocate, 1997. The Devil's Advocate, 1997, fuses legal drama with supernatural intrigue, featuring Keanu Reeves as Kevin Lomax, a gifted defense attorney, and Charlize Theron as his wife, Mary Ann. They relocate to New York after Kevin secures a job at a prestigious law firm headed by John Milton, Al Pacino. Soon, Mary Ann senses sinister forces at play, while Kevin becomes consumed by ambition. Major events pivot on Kevin's rapid rise within the firm, defending high-profile clients whose guilt appears undeniable. Mary Ann, meanwhile, endures terrifying hallucinations. She sees demonic visages and hears eerie whispers echoing in lavish corridors. Theron depicts Mary Ann's unraveling with harrowing intensity, struggling to convince Kevin that something evil lurks beneath the glamour. Her isolation deepens as Kevin dismisses her fears, fixated on winning every case. A turning point arises when Mary Ann's mental state deteriorates so severely that she begs Kevin to leave the city. Milton's charismatic influence over Kevin intensifies, urging him to embrace unchecked vanity. In pivotal scenes, Marianne discovers horrifying secrets about the firm, culminating in tragedy that jolts Kevin to confront Milton's true nature. Pacino's mesmerizing performance as the devil himself intertwines with Theron's portrayal of Marianne, whose suffering exposes the firm's diabolical core. The climax sees Kevin grappling with the revelation that Milton is orchestrating a grand scheme fueled by human greed. Marianne's breakdown becomes the emotional catalyst, forcing Kevin to question whether success is worth damning his soul. Theron infuses Marianne with desperation and heartbreak, emphasizing the film's commentary on ambition's corrosive power. Ultimately, the devil's advocate warns that unchecked pride can be humanity's downfall. Theron's role underscores the human cost behind supernatural machinations, anchoring the story in love twisted by dark temptation. Through Marianne, Theron presents innocence devoured by hubris. Her performance offers a chilling reminder that even everyday dreams can become nightmares when moral boundaries are forsaken. In the end, the film underscores how easily desire trumps reason, sealing fates in demonic contracts. 10. Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015. Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015, reignited George Miller's iconic franchise, thrusting audiences into a post-apocalyptic desert ruled by tyrannical warlords. Charlize Theron stars as Imperator Furiosa, a fierce warrior who dares to liberate Immortan Joe's enslaved wives. Teaming with the haunted drifter Max Rokitansky, Tom Hardy, she embarks on a high-speed escape across scorching sands. The film's driving events revolve around Furiosa's decision to smuggle Joe's prized captives out of the Citadel, igniting a relentless pursuit by armored vehicles bristling with weaponry. Every sequence crackles with explosive energy, from pole-swinging war boys to the deafening roar of souped-up engines. Theron's Furiosa pilots the war rig with unyielding resolve, her mechanical arm symbolizing resilience. She endures brutal skirmishes while forging a fragile alliance with Max, who gradually recognizes the nobility of her cause. A pivotal event unfolds when Furiosa discovers her ancestral green place has become barren. Realizing forward progress leads only to bleak sands, she chooses to turn back, seizing the Citadel itself. This shift transforms flight into rebellion. The culminating chase sees Furiosa confronting Joe's convoy head-on, culminating in a ferocious battle. Theron masterfully balances Furiosa's unwavering courage with fleeting glimpses of sorrow, hinting at past losses that fuel her crusade. In the aftermath, Furiosa delivers Joe's lifeless body to the Citadel, handing power back to the oppressed. Theron's performance underscores the film's feminist themes, championing autonomy in a brutal world. Through each set piece, she exudes fierce determination, depicting a leader driven by deep empathy rather than self-interest. Furiosa emerges as the film's moral core, complementing Max's rugged survivalism with genuine hope for collective renewal. Mad Max. Fury Road resonates as a thunderous testament to rebellion and redemption, anchored by Theron's powerhouse portrayal. Her commanding presence confirms that defiance and compassion can topple oppressive regimes. The film ends triumphantly, echoing Furiosa's relentless spirit to carve out a better future. In scorching chaos, she shines as a beacon of emancipation, proving that hope thrives even in the bleakest wasteland. Thank you for joining this journey through 10 standout Charlize Theron roles. These films exemplify her commitment to portraying complex characters, whether trapped in moral quandaries, navigating brutal worlds, or championing urgent social issues. Each entry highlights pivotal events where Theron's performance elevates the narrative and underscores her impressive range. We hope this countdown inspires you to revisit old favorites or discover new gems in her filmography. If you've enjoyed this overview, feel free to share your thoughts. Wherever you start, Theron's work promises depth, intensity, and undeniable talent. From tender drama to explosive action, she continues expanding what's possible.